Hey, it's your Bounders Business. I'm Cornelis, and I'm going to watch and react to a post by James Blake that's been doing the rounds in the music industry and amongst musicians, and I'll give my opinion as an independent musician.
Hello. I'm coming on here to make an announcement, which is that I am now officially an independent artist, which feels crazy to say, but it feels like it's bringing with it a lot of opportunity to connect.
I wonder how he got out of his deal. I'll have to look that up. Was it by a mutual agreement, or did he have a clause, or uh, did his contract was his contract already coming to an end? Because as far as I'm aware, it's not easy to just uh, leave a record label or whatever his deals were. I don't think you can just say I want out of it, especially somebody like James Blake, who's in the still in the prime of his career.
A lot. And recently, I've been thinking about, you know, how to connect with people directly, basically, and that's, Vault has been part of that. But really, that's just part of a wider sort of picture. Last week I played to something like 30,000 people in Mexico City, and it was one of the most fun gigs we've ever done. And I haven't been there for so long. Sorry about the thing. I had no idea that there were so many people who actually wanted to see us. It was a festival, but the support was insane, and there are places in the world I haven't been for a long time because I've got no real way of knowing if there is a demand for me to go, and that makes me sad. And part of that is because of corporations who most artists have to work with gatekeep our data. So
Right, yeah, that blows my mind that that an artist like James Blake doesn't have access to the data to know where where his fans are in the world. So he doesn't know, that he can't just ask, hey, where am I most popular, where am I, maybe surely he can go on Spotify on his artist's profile and see where he's being streamed at least. But yeah, there's more to it than that, obviously. But yeah, this is the same with agencies, marketing agencies, where they, as he says, they want to gatekeep the data. They don't want to tell you everything because you can then use that data to empower yourself and your own decision making. Now, I get it in a way where a company, you paid a company, or you're in a contract with a company like a record label, and they are investing in you, and they want to hold that back. But with agencies in the corporate world, you're paying them, but then they want to hold stuff back because they don't want you to see what's really going on, because that's the leverage they have. And in the same way, a record label will have the leverage over you, so that you can't make decisions for yourself. It's the name of the game. They don't want to give away too much power to you, unfortunately. So that's why you have to be careful about who you work with.
actually know how to reach most of our fans, or who they are, where they are. Our monthly listeners, we don't know who they are. It's like beyond connecting via social media. But because I'm so fucking bad at social media, my algorithm means I hardly reach any of the fans who follow me. So I've been thinking about ways to remedy that. And if you want to hear from me about shows and anything else I'm doing, and allow me to see where in the world you are so I can actually come and play for you, then I would love it if you would sign up to my mailing list, because at the moment my mailing list is basically just my mum and dad, which is lovely. But
Yeah, so mailing lists, it's an old school marketing thing, but it's still relevant. It's still valuable, because with a lot of these services, whether it's Mailchimp or Aweber or GetResponse or whatever else is out there, HubSpot, those kinds of services, when somebody provides your email, you can ask them to provide you with a little bit more. For example, the country that you're living in, or the state, or perhaps even a postcode or part of a postcode. And of course, you have to be careful about that you are being responsible with people's data, and you need to be careful that you're not collecting more data than you actually need, and that you're keeping it safe so it doesn't get leaked. But basically, it's more than just an email address that you can collect. You can collect something like a town or city name. So then you can look at your database and see, okay, I've got a whole bunch of fans in Berlin, for example, that I didn't know about, or in Sao Paulo, or in Adelaide, or wherever in the world. You won't really know that just from some stream. You can figure it out from some streaming figures, but you need lots of different data points to figure this out. So that's why he's not just asking for email addresses. Obviously, he wants to be able to have a direct connection with his fans, but in addition, he'll be able to collect a bit more data about where people are in the world. And in the comments, you can see people saying, oh, you should come down to South Africa, you have a bunch of fans in South Africa. And maybe he doesn't know how large his fan base in South Africa is, and he doesn't know that he could actually make it affordable for his entire operation to go down to South Africa and do a gig. Because at the end of the day, right, it has to at least break even, where all the costs of shipping the equipment and the people that he needs to come with him to put on a show, he can't do that and make a loss. So he has to know that there's going to be a certain amount of people before he invests the time and effort in finding a venue and organizing all of that to then do a gig. So that's why it's really important for artists to have this kind of data, and an email list is one of the best ways to do it. And it's really overlooked nowadays in a world of everyone looking at social media followers. But having an email list is really important. And the number one regret amongst not just musicians, but so many business owners, is not setting up an email list sooner.
Love to more people and connect with more people. So, yeah, it feels good to be independent, as I've wanted to take things into my own hands for a long time. And Volt is just one part of that picture. And the wider plan is to...
So I have to be honest, I need to look up what this Volt thing is. Is it like Patreon? Is it something that he set up himself? Or is it another company? I'm guessing it's a third party company, but I need to investigate that. So, but it sounds like some kind of Patreon type thing where I remember him mentioning in a previous video, he said, oh yeah, I'm setting up a Vault and you can join and it's a monthly fee or something like that. I have a vague memory of that. So I imagine it's something like Patreon.
Do direct ticket drops and different ways of putting on shows and going direct to you as much as I can, basically. So if you listen to my music and you want to help me reach more of you, sign up at the link on my website, which is at jamesblakemusic.com. Love you.
Yeah, so this is the way us independent musicians already do it. We have our websites and we have our social media platforms, and we own all of it. And it's interesting that somebody like James Blake, who's obviously signed, etc. Like I said, I don't know what happened with his previous deals, but he's independent now, and it shows that, I'm not saying people shouldn't sign deals, but be very careful about that. Have a good think about it, get professional advice about that, and see if there's some way that you can own your data, own your email lists, own your subscribers, all that kind of stuff, because that is so valuable. It's the most valuable thing. And there's going to be gatekeepers and vested interests that want, oh, don't worry about it, you concentrate on the music, we'll look after that. But that's a really valuable thing, and yeah, don't give that up lightly. And if you want to remain independent, then set up your own email list. Have your own database of people that are into your music. And I do have an email list, but I'll be honest, I haven't been promoting it much for a while. So this is a good reminder for me to think of an incentive to get people to sign up for it. So maybe I'll record some acoustic versions of some songs, or find some old old demos of previous recordings or something. I'll think of some incentive, because it's always nice to reward people for signing up for your email list. So that's something for me to remind to do again, because I haven't promoted it for a while. Anyway, so it's interesting to see a huge artist like James Blake going independent, and we'll see what happens with him. Doesn't mean he can't work with other companies in the future, certain types of promotion companies or people that will help him market his shows. But he now he has a lot more say and power in those relationships, whereas previously he was at the mercy of the record label. They had the final say, whereas now, hopefully going forward, he has the final say. So good luck to him, and we'll see what happens with him in the future. And once again, get on it. Have your own website, have your own email list. Don't just rely on these social media companies, because who knows, like TikTok or whatever, could get banned. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. Own your data.